guys, welcome to a brand new episode of SideQuest Podcast. Listen in and level up. I have a great episode for you today, but first, as always, let's get through the show notes. If you're not following the Facebook page, head over to Facebook, type SideQuest Fitness into the search bar, and like the page. There, you're going to get updates on podcast episodes, articles when they get posted, and you're going to get a brand new taco recipe every Tuesday for taco camp. Plus lots of other shenanigans and nerd talk throughout the week, so make sure you head over to Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is SideQuestFM. If you want to see some cool videos and random stuff on Instagram as well, you can follow me on Instagram. Same handle, SideQuestFM. Or follow me on Snapchat, SideQuestFit. Follow me there. Send me your questions. I want to get all the questions from you, help you as much as I can on your fitness journey or your journey in life, whatever it may be. But head over to Snapchat, SideQuestFit. Follow me there. You get a little more personal, in-depth look at the shenanigans I get into throughout every day. But I do love getting questions from the community, so please send them out to me. If you have not left a review for the podcast, please head over to iTunes. If you're not listening on iTunes and you're listening on SoundCloud or Stitcher, leave a review there as well. When you leave reviews, it helps me move up the charts on the iTunes store so that more people can see and hear the amazing guests that I've had on and have on each and every single week. So make sure you head over there. And don't forget, if you haven't picked up your copy of the 7 Principles of Fat Loss, head over to sidequestfitness.com and you can pick up your copy of the 7 Principles of Fat Loss. These are the same 7 principles I follow each and every day and teach my clients to help them shred away more body fat, unlock heroic strength, and just look better naked. So if you want to unlock strength or just look better naked in the mirror, head over again, grab those 7 principles of fat loss, and start following those today. All right, guys, it is the first Thursday of the month, and that means community questions. You get an episode based on questions I get via email, Facebook, Twitter, or anywhere else that you can find me online. This one comes from my client, Jeremy, and we're going to chat about booze. If you're interested in taking your fitness and your physique to the next level and engaging in one of the most fun fitness experiences, head over to sidequestfitness.com/coach and apply today. I still have a few spots open for the rest of the year. I want to help you start 2017 off right, but we're going to end 2016 with your goals in mind, get you started. So before everyone else starts quitting in January, you're already halfway to your goals. So head over there, sign up. Let's get started on kicking some ass together. We'll improve your strength, get you leaner, get you stronger, whatever your goals are. Even if you just want to look a little better naked, awesome. We'll focus on that as well. But let's get in now to the episode and my question that came to me from my client, Jeremy. What about booze? All right, let's talk about drinking.
Step up and you gotta get it fitness. Host Rob at the moment and the quest is you gotta check it and wreck it. You're breaking personal records and with the help of the guests you won't be guessing on the lessons. That's a +5 years. Got a low-key bamf right here. You wanna meet him, there's no better way to greet him than to strike a boss pose. Take a look into the mirror.
Boozy booze, 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 booze. Scotchy, scotch, 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 scotch. Watch as it goes down into my belly. We all love it. We enjoy drinking it. Beer, wine, tequila. Don't give me tequila. Bad things happen. Vodka, gin, nope. Horrible, even worse things happen with gin than they do with tequila. But we're going to talk this week about booze. My client Jeremy sent me this question and wanted to know about drinking when it comes to fat loss. I have a lot of clients who, travel. I have clients, one who's living in China right now. And he's like, man, you have no idea. It's really hard to go out with my friends and not enjoy a couple of drinks. And it is. It's hard when you're trying to lose fat because, look, here's the thing. They're empty calories. They're useless calories. They're calories that you don't need to consume in booze. But you want to have a good time. You want to enjoy a beer. It is a social event. But it is something you got to take into account when you are trying to lose fat. And it's something you got to take into account even when you're bulking. But here's something interesting. Some research that I found that Alan Aragon did for his research review. And my good friend Derek had showed this to me after I asked him a question. And my friend Amy Dix hooked me up and gave me the full rundown on exactly what goes on. But Alan did this in his research review. In case you guys don't know, fitness people, when they get together, are basically like everyone else. We enjoy drinking a lot. There's stupid amounts of debauchery that happen. And something someone asked Alan was, do alcohol calories count, or do they just disappear? Now here's what you need to know about alcohol. So if you guys have listened to the show, if you've read the blog for a while, you know that I've talked a little about diet. You have 4 calories in a gram of protein, 4 calories in a gram of carbohydrates, 9 calories in 1 gram of fat. So the next time you see something that has 36 grams of fat, divide by 9, or multiply by 9, and you know how many calories you're getting from fat. Same thing with everything else. But here's the thing. Alcohol technically has 7 calories per gram. Alcohol is a toxin. I know it's fun and good things can happen and laughter can happen. And sometimes when you're in college, you have a good night. But alcohol is a toxin. That's how your body sees it. It's a neurotoxin. And the thing about alcohol is your body has several metabolic pathways that it uses to get rid of it. Because your body can't use alcohol. It needs to get it out. It's a poison. Your body's like, fuck this, let's get it out. I got to get it out of here. So, and I won't go into any detail on that about, all of that. But when it comes to, taking energy from it. So we all know, if you've read on the blog, if you haven't, I'll cover it here. So protein gives you the highest thermogenic effect of food. And what that means is when you take in a big amount of protein, your body has to ramp up its calories, like its energy furnace, to burn that protein away. That's why protein is so key when you're on a fat loss diet, because it gives you an extra boost in your metabolism, but it also helps you hold on to more muscle mass. So the thermogenic effect with protein is anywhere around 25 to 30%. Carbohydrates are about 5 times less than that, 6 to 8%, and fat comes in around 2 to 3. But the crazy thing that Alan found about alcohol is that 22.5% of alcohol, that's how much more your body has to boost up to burn it off. So it's close to protein in that. So we all know that protein is the most satiating and it's the least fattening, because your body there's a whole long energy inefficient process your body has to go to store protein as fat or store it as glucose. And you'll hear people talk about this on the internet. I had a question once about, I heard if I eat too much protein, it'll get stored as fat. No, your body doesn't want to do that. Your body wants to use the least amount of energy as possible to continue to live. Hence why fat loss kind of sucks, because you're trying to give it less energy, but it needs energy, but it doesn't want to use all that energy, so you feel groggy. And it's why you don't want to work out as much, because your body's like, hey, let's just sit on the couch and binge some more Luke Cage. Let's just do that. Your body wants to hold on to its energy. So alcohol, though, doesn't have the same reputation as protein. Yeah, so it might have a high thermogenic effect, but your body has to store everything else and stop processing fat and carbs and protein when it has alcohol, because it needs to get rid of that alcohol. Now, Alan found that short-term evidence did conclude that alcohol is not really satiating. And there's a ton of studies that show that when you consume alcohol during or before a meal, you'll actually increase the amount of food you eat. Look, I enjoy a good beer with my burgers, but if you are trying to be on a fat loss diet, you got to take that into account, that either you're going to have to treat it as a cheat day, or you only give yourself that 1, maybe 2 beers, because those 1 or 2 beers could be an extra burger, could be an extra bun, could be a little extra potato salad or whatever. So you are sacrificing food for those burgers. Now, they don't really know why alcohol can stimulate appetite. They're still looking into that scientifically. But analysis did show that consumption of alcohol containing beer in some studies that lasted 1 to 4 months did kind of increase weight a little bit, like 0.73 kilograms. And that's been on wine and beer. There's not a lot of data on other drinks as well. But here's something interesting that Alan found, that when you're on a maintenance sort of protocol, like I am right now, is like, I'm not trying to lose fat. I'm not trying to build muscle. I'm just sort of maintaining. I got a wedding in a couple of weeks that I'm officiating, and I gotta fit in to my suit. But he found that those calories just sort of disappear. So in the research that he did, it was weird. It was like they just disappeared. They just went away, and didn't really count into things. So when you're sort of in a maintenance mode, it might be all right to have a couple beers. Now, I'm not saying every night, but from time to time, maybe a drink, maybe, a drink every other night. But it is interesting that you have that sort of vanishing act that happens. But even Alan recommends that, if you're dieting, you really need to take it into account and really stay vigilant when it comes to your diet. But just know that when you're in a maintenance mode, there are some weird data points that show that they just kind of float away like fairy dust, the alcohol calories. But let's go over a couple of things you can do when it comes to drinking and fat loss. These are my 3 strategies that I give every client who asks. Number 1, make sure that day you are prioritizing you should always be prioritizing protein and lean protein and green veggies. For some reason, I get dyslexic and say lean veggies and green protein. I don't think you want green protein. Lean protein and green veggies. Make sure you're eating plenty of that throughout the day. You should be used to that. That's what you should be consuming. But if you're going to drink at night, make sure you're getting a big helping of greens and protein at lunch. And then right before you go out, have like 4 ounces of chicken and some more greens, just to kind of keep you on your stomach, keep that on your stomach, keep it in your system so you stay a little fuller longer, so you don't pound a couple of beers and then all of a sudden you're like, smorgasbord of cheese plate, or whatever is where you are. Second thing is limit one of the 2 that day. Either you're going to limit your carbs or limit your fats, and let your alcohol calories make up for those. Now remember, alcohol kind of comes in the center, right around 7 grams. So it's not at 4 like carbohydrates, and it's not at 9 like fat. So it's kind of in the center, so you're getting a little more, but you are getting a little bit of a higher boost from the thermogenic effect of your body having to ramp up its metabolism to burn that off. So I like to say either you have less fats that day or you have less carbs. On the day you plan on drinking, you have 2 options. Train. I always say train on the day you're going to drink, because here's the thing. Unless you're an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, or a 21, let's just say if you're still in college, you can probably pound the beers, get up the next day, and have a moderate workout. The older you get, you're going to have a 2-day hangover and just never want to get the fuck out of bed. Trust me. If you're listening right now and you're younger than like 25 and you're thinking, 2-day hangover, you old man. Listen, in 5 years when it hits you, you're going to think back to this podcast and think, oh my God, Robbie was right. I didn't know it was true. Yeah, they suck. They're awful. And your workouts are going to suck the next day. You're not going to perform as well. Now, I'm not saying you can't go to the gym. Go to the gym after a night of heavy drinking. But just know that 30 pounds on the dumbbells might feel more like 700 pounds. Been there, done that, because you're going to be dehydrated. So make sure you get plenty of water before you go to the gym if you decide to work out the day after. I prefer working out the day of, get in some metabolic circuits like rock and roll fat loss. You can pick that up on the website now, my first e-product out there. So rock and roll fat loss can totally help you on a day you're drinking, really send that metabolism up through the roof, because you're going to want that. You're going to want that going, burning hours on end, because you're going to be consuming some extra booze. The other sort of strategy I give when it comes to drinking is this, and it's sort of a financial one I took from some friends of mine over at the Listen Money Matters podcast. If you're going to go out, the best way to limit yourself is don't take your credit card. Leave it at home. And I know someone is listening to this right now who knows me very well and is going, yeah, but Robbie, you hate cash. I do like using my card because you get a ton of benefits from using your card when you use it correctly. But if you're trying to stay on point, you don't want to go out and be like, oh yeah, let me keep a tab open. Keep a tab open and you've already had 3 beers. It's a lot easier to order that 4th beer. So go out, use your debit card, get $20 in cash, bring the card back home, leave it there. Don't use a credit card. Use cash. So you've got $20. That's all you got. If you're going out with a friend and they know your goals and they're supporting you, but you're going to have a good time, they're like, man, look, I got 3 drinks. Don't let me have any more. Give them your card. They can pay for 3 of your drinks. Once you have those 3, you're done. Limit yourself. You can still have a good time. Have a good time. Go out. And just sort of keep those limits in place. That's really about it for diet. Make sure you get the metabolic work, get a good sweat going on the next day, plenty of water and recover, do some walking, some extra walking as well. If you're really, really hardcore and you really want to hit your goals, I'm going to lay something out. Just don't drink. I know it sucks to hear that, doesn't it? Just don't do it. Like, I know you're thinking, yeah, fuck you. I want to. Sometimes you got to leave that stuff alone so you can get to the goal you want to get to. And you'll learn, because I did it for 30 days. I learned I don't need whiskey. I love whiskey, but I don't need it. And through those 30 days, I was able to see, you know what? I can take on some hardcore things for 30 days. I gave it up. It wasn't that big of a deal. So if that's what you're trying to do, you're really trying to get to your goal, it's not going to help when you're drinking your calories. So just take some time off. Don't drink it. Those are tips for drinking. But that was a really strange fact that I found about the sort of ghost calories that happen when you're in and around a maintenance mode. So again, just make sure that you are getting in plenty of protein, plenty of green veggies the day that you're going to go out, the day you're going to drink. Have some green veggies and protein beforehand. And one other thing I forgot to mention that you can do, you can fast and then have one big meal before you go out, but just be careful. You don't want to fast and then drink because that's no bueno. But there you go. I hope that answers your question, Jeremy. If it did not, reach out to me via email and I'll let you guys know. But again, there is some very weird stuff. When you're in a maintenance mode, there are sort of some kind of ghost calories that disappear. But remember, when you're on a fat loss program, when you're trying to lose that weight, when you're trying to get to your goal, it might be best to either 1, completely skip the booze, or 2, limit yourself and only give yourself 1 to 2 drinks. Because consistency, we know, is what matters. Consistently hitting your workouts, consistently hitting your nutrition. And even if you were like, hey, I enjoy a consistent 1 beer a night, you can still lose weight having that 1 beer a night. You just got to make sure that everything else is in its place. All right, guys, I will see you next month in December. Please hit me up with your questions. Doesn't matter what it is. I want to know. We'll chat Star Wars. It's coming up. We got Rogue One. We'll chat fitness. We'll chat health, or whatever it is. Just let me know. Hit me up via email, sidequestfitness@gmail.com, or hit me up on social, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram as well. Guys, have a good one. Enjoy your booze, but always make sure that you're keeping tabs on what you're drinking and how much you're eating, and keep that nutrition on point. Keep your workouts on point. And in everything you do, just kick ass at life.
Step up and you gotta get it fitness. Host Rob at the moment and the quest is you gotta check it and wreck it. You're breaking personal records, and with the help of the guests you won't be guessing on the lessons. That's a +5 fierce. Got a low-key bamf right here. You wanna meet him, there's no better way to greet him than to strike a boss pose. Take a look into the mirror.